Yo, what is going on? This is Unbounded. Thanks for coming again. I'm yours as always, Ant. Along with me, I got my boy Isaac. Hopefully, Breon will be joining us. Uh Nothing bad going on with him, just not here just yet. But what's going on with you, dog?
I'm good. My remember that fight I was telling you I have my fight with the ongoing battle of that habit I got.
Please tell me that you haven't backslid.
Yeah, it's bad, bro. It's bad. It's bad.
We got to fight it, dog. We got to fight it.
Yeah.
I'm look. I gotta work on it myself, so it's all
Yeah,
good.
it's bad.
All right, so not real well. I think towards the end we'll kind of talk sports because I don't think you. Hopefully, when Breon comes in,
Well, I was gonna say,
you
which one do you think
answer
we'll
my
get?
question last night.
I was gonna say, which one do you think we'll spend more time on, sports or
Wrestling.
what we
And
really
I
want to
want
get
Breon
into?
here when we talk sports anyway because I want both of you to answer my question that y'all didn't answer last night.
What was the question?
It was about Russell Wilson.
If he goes to the Cowboys, if he goes
Yeah.
to if Russell Wilson goes to the Cowboys, I'm probably gonna be like Breon. I'm gonna be unbearable.
I will have to find you co-host.
I will find every meme or reference I can of someone not even joining the dark side. I will find every reference I can of somebody joining something else out of spite and just sharing it with you, tagging you in everything.
I would like to take this time to give an advertisement. Drink water.
That's a good.
But we'll start off with wrestling. Let's go ahead and get down to the hottest topic of the week, and that is Charlie Caruso is white.
Yeah, I heard that. That
Oh.
shocked. I wasn't shocked. I was like,
Why are people surprised about the fact that Charlie Caruso is a white woman?
like, was that news to anybody?
Evidently, I was sitting outside the hospital waiting on my dad. He was okay.
That's good.
It was just an appointment, but whatever.
I was
and the first thing I see is like, my whole life has been a lie. Charlie Caruso is a white woman. I was like, so is Bobby Caldwell.
hold tight. Well, keep going.
So that was the whole thing, but that's not really the biggest thing that was going on. So Dave Meltzer and the Wrestling Observer dropped their yearly Wrestling Observer Awards, and it's quite hilarious actually, because personally, I don't take a lot of these awards seriously because, especially with the Wrestling Observer, because it was voted on by the subscribers of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, which could be very, 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 very biased. And a lot of these are quite biased. Some of them I do actually agree with, and a lot of these I definitely disagree with. So, Wrestler of the Year, Jon Moxley.
I mean,
I don't disagree with this.
Is this 2020?
Other names
is this of 2020?
Yes.
Then yes.
Jon Moxley definitely won it. Like, I'm not going to fight Jon Moxley winning this. You know, I have one. I think it would be Drew, but I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to fight it.
Well, here's what I'll say about that. Did Drew have a harder system to work through? Yes. Yes.
You know that's one of my things that I always say. Look, I give a lot of credit. I usually give an extra bonus to WWE superstars who, because we know that the way they do things there are very, very.
They have a systematic structure
that
problem.
Don't really watch wrestling. It is very, very New England Patriot like.
WWE has a systematic structure problem.
They're the New England Patriots of professional wrestling.
You mean like the current New England Patriots, or like the
Bill Belichick's New England Patriots?
They're technically still Bill Belichick's New England Patriots. You mean when they had You mean when they had the cheater, with or without the cheater?
Over there, the Patriot way is still the way.
So they're Johnny Gargano. They're Austin Theory. They're Candice LeRae. They're Indy Hartwell.
They're indie wrestling. not independent wrestling, indie, Hartwell wrestling. But yeah, I mean, it's just the way that they are. You do how it's done.
You are really dressed like Kendrick Lamar right now.
I have on a black shirt, an A chain, and an Adidas hat. I don't see how I'm Kendrick Lamar, but okay.
I'm just
every black rapper with locks. But I'm not gonna fight John Moxley.
I'm saying because Kendrick. Do you have Cortez's on?
I don't.
Then you be Kendrick. Then you be Kendrick.
Female wrestler of the year. I don't think anybody can fight this. Is Bayley. Let's be real. Bayley has been the
only because they booked Asuka terribly.
I agree there. Asuka has been up ever since she beat Charlotte.
Since
she beat Charlotte.
Yeah.
That was the moment that they kind of went downhill with her. She did put some really great matches on with Sasha during that whole
She was carrying Raw by herself for a couple weeks.
Oh, definitely.
Like when they went into that bad era, they were memes. There was that meme of her sitting at the
beginning of the
there was her just vibing.
Asuka's time.
Just sitting there vibing. Her in that Money in the Bank
first episode because
she should have gotten MVP just solely for Money in the Bank. What she did in Money in the Bank.
I mean, I wouldn't say that nobody else was doing great during that time period because we got to remember MVP started his whole thing
right
too. And
I'm just saying,
when he started getting hurt.
Raw as a whole brand, it's hard for me, and maybe it's because I love Asuka, but Raw as a brand, like she carried it. Yes.
And I am a frequent watcher of Raw. I know you don't watch Raw, but I do on just about every Monday. And my issue is like there's a lot of good up there. It's just a lot of direction was good. Like Hurt Business, amazing. I love every single member of Retribution, but the frustrating part about Retribution right now is there's no direction. I will be the first person to go to bat for Mace. Mace was a year and some change ago sitting at the announcer's table and seeing how far he's come and not to be a person that was featured in NXT. He looks great in the ring.
Here's the thing. He was signed on NXT. Like, I would see a video of him in NXT. Like, I followed him on Twitter, and he would show videos of him wrestling at house shows at NXT, and he's amazing. He's amazing.
I didn't follow him, though. Like, I'm starting to find out more about some of the guys that they have signed now. Like, I just found about Ezra Judge through, what's the sommelier's name? Reginald. Because he, Ricochet, and as EJ, they're like a clique.
Yeah, I saw them on TikTok.
So like they're all hanging out together all the time. And EJ, oh my gosh, you think Bobby Lashley has a physique? Wait till this dude gets on TV.
Bobby's gonna be champion before Mania, right? He's got to.
I hope he wins tomorrow.
There's no.
You already know my.
There is literally no reason. I don't care if he's The Miz. I'm not going to watch it because I have better things to do than watch Monday Night Raw. If for some reason Miz is champion at WrestleMania, they did it wrong. There's literally no reason Bobby Lashley should not walk into WrestleMania.
I think next week what I'm going to do is I'm going to write out my dream card for Mania. Because I can already say right now, my dream match, the match I want to see for the World Heavyweight Championship, it has something to do with a guy that you don't care for.
Is it Brock? You want to see Brock, Bobby, and Drew, don't you?
No, I just want to see Brock, Bobby in a fight pit.
They're not going to be. Oh, God, I wish.
That's why it's a dream. A man can dream, can he? I know.
No, you're right, but I'm just saying, I don't know.
You can't tell.
But anyway,
these two dudes in a fight pit would not be amazing.
Mox, no, I'm with you. They were trying to do that in MMA. They were trying to get Brock to fight Bobby in MMA.
And evidently he wants
in the octagon.
So just give us what we want, dog. It doesn't even have to be a fight pit.
Give me Cross versus Thatcher in the fight pit.
You know the type of match I want to see right now. And I want to channel my inner Big E. I just want to see Two big meaty men bumping meat. Pause.
That video, that is still funny.
Did you going off the cuff here? Did you have you watched the documentary?
I tried, but the network is fucking retarded.
It worked for me.
I was trying to watch it on my laptop and it kept freezing.
Oh Lord. But yeah, man. Oh my gosh, that documentary was amazing. I did send you the picture of him playing.
Yeah, at Iowa, yeah.
Iowa State.
No, at Iowa.
No, it's Iowa State.
No, it isn't.
No, it is Iowa. You're right.
I was about to say he went to Iowa.
Like, I gotta remember Iowa's jersey looks like the classic Steelers jerseys.
Yeah, you gotta use your common sense, man. Anyway,
I'll use my superpowers next time. All right, so next we have Tag Team of the Year, the Young Bucks.
Come on.
You know I'm not the biggest fan of the Young Bucks.
Come on, man. They had some good stuff last year. You can't say Bucks versus Page and Omega was not fantastic.
I'm still a FTR guy though. I'm sorry.
But I'm saying, they didn't get. But they had that match. They had their dream match, which to me,
I
honestly,
still think was better than the one at Revolution. But that's
not that I don't. I watched the match at Full Gear, and I wasn't as. What's the word? I wasn't as impressed. I won't say impressed, but I wasn't as like. It didn't do it for me.
No, I just feel like it was a lot of times when I watch Young Bucks matches, either A, it just looks very repetitive, or B, a lot of the stuff they do just looks like, hey, I'm going to stand right here. And it just looks very, very overly coordinated. And like it's cool for GIFs. Like that's great. It's cool for GIFs. And I'm not sitting here saying that the Young Bucks suck. I'm not saying that. You saw my video back in November. I said, as good as the Young Bucks are, I still think they're overrated.
I mean, they are to an extent, but they're good. But they're hard to. It's hard to ignore what they do like that. Not even their style. I'm not even talking about their style, but look at the places they put themselves in.
Oh, don't get me wrong. Look, there's those matches that I absolutely love.
Like
going back to Golden Lovers and Young Bucks at I forget which New Japan show it was that was over here. I want to say Cow Palace.
You talking about Strong Style Evolved versus Kenny and Kota?
Yeah, that one.
That's what I'm saying. Like they do. Like why you got to look at why is it amazing? Because they are able to wrestle and tell a story. Like maybe it's because I didn't see the story of the Bucks and FTR other than it was a dream match. But like
that's why.
What made the match with Kenny and Page so much was because of the build. That's why it was so good. That's why it was good to me. You know.
This is why I love professional wrestling, and then our friendship just goes off of disagreeing on every single thing we talk about.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Most outstanding wrestler of the year, Kenny Omega.
This
is where I start saying, okay, I'm gonna throw the bias card out. I won't give this one to Mox, dog. I'm sorry.
So you think Mox gets both most outstanding and wrestler of the year?
Fight me.
No. I'm not gonna fight you. I agree.
You can win the
I agree.
Award and win Offensive Player of the Year, can't you?
No, I agree. I'm with you. I am with you.
Yeah, I would give this one.
I haven't because not saying he had bad matches, but he had more big match. Mox had bigger matches than Kenny did. Mostly is because he was champion for most of the year. But even when he wasn't wrestling with the championship, he still had good matches. One of the matches I go to is the match Mox had. Mox Darby versus Ricky Starks and Brian Cage in that tag team street fight where Darby hit the skateboard, hit the ollie with the tacks in Starks' back. You know, I think about that.
I'm gonna throw a wrench in there. I would throw Kyle into this. I wouldn't say Kyle should win but he should be
like most outstanding. I think when they say
Think of his 2 matches with Balor.
No, I'm not saying those are bad, but I'm trying to think outstanding. Like maybe
I mean,
I want to see like parameters of how they got here. You know what I mean? Like, why is it him? Like, what were the?
I mean, it's hard to figure that out because it's his subscribers that are voting.
Because you can't say I'd say Coda. Why can't Ibushi be in there?
That is a really good point. Ibushi could, but I think a lot of that had to do with the pandemic and how much that Coda really wrestled outside. He did wrestle in G1. But
Ibushi wrestled the G1. Yeah, he wrestled the G1. He didn't wrestle the New Japan Cup. He wrestled the G1. He wrestled like after that. He did wrestle. He wrestled Wrestle Kingdom, but he wrestled Wrestle Kingdom. He wrestled after who else did he fight? Well, maybe not Coda, but Naito. If we're talking about 2020, Naito had a fantastic 2020.
Oh yeah, Naito is definitely one.
In 2020, he became the first 2-time undisputed IWGP champion because he won both belts at Wrestle Kingdom, and then he won both of them at Wrestle Kingdom, and then lost them to Evil in a weird time, and then he won them back. So he's the first 2-time champion, 2-time double champion.
Yeah.
So I'd say Naito if you're thinking outstanding.
That's a good point. Most improved wrestlers Britt Baker.
Yeah. Considering where she was before to now, I'm not gonna argue there.
I can't fight that one.
Who are the other nominees for that though?
I don't even see the votings on it.
All right, it's cool. No, it's cool. I'd agree.
It's Wrestling Travel, and all they have is the winners. Most underrated wrestler of the year, Ricochet.
I give that to Mustafa.
I'd definitely get that. Mustafa.
Sorry.
Ali. Mustafa. Most overrated. This is where my biggest issue came in. One of my biggest issues. Bray Wyatt. Overrated. Which is hilarious because he was also top 3 and most underrated when in the voting. I know exactly who you're gonna say is most overrated, so I'm not gonna ask.
Well, who are you gonna say? Who do you think I'm gonna say?
You're gonna say Baron Corbin.
No, because he's not in the radar for that.
He's on my radar, so leave me alone.
To be overrated, you have to be like. You have to have a sense of hype behind you that you don't deserve. I'd say, if that case, I'd say Miz, honestly. Because you have, like I said, to be overrated, you have to have a hype behind you that you don't deserve. Like, why is this person getting gassed up like that? They haven't done anything.
Good point. Rookie of the year, Pat McAfee. No fight for me.
No.
Pat McAfee came in.
McAfee had a Ronda.
I did not expect to happen.
McAfee did what Ronda did. He came in. We all got scared because we're thinking, oh, this is going to be terrible, and he knocked it out of the park.
He did what Ronda did with better mic skills.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Until LA Knight came to NXT, Pat McAfee was by far the best talker on the show.
Yeah. By the way, can we pause? I'm gonna put a pause right here because I gotta.
You don't let name.
No. It's not LA Knight. Although I do miss. I wish he called himself Eli Drake, but because Eli Drake sounds better than LA Knight. Eli Drake.
What is this like, Mike? LA Knights?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Saying Eli Drake just sounds better. But anyway,
he could have gone by his first WWE name.
Here, I gotta say this. I think that, and no, it's not because they're the only wrestling podcast I listen to. Used to listen to JD, but it's not because they're the most wrestling podcast I listen to. I think there is some merit. I'm not saying they're right. But I think there is some merit to the article a while ago that people were raging at What Culture about. I think there is merit to it. Okay, I don't think I'm not saying they're right. The article about how they posted certain wrestlers' ages, how they were mostly in their mid-30s, and they were saying how they hire how they're signing like all these guys like after the fact.
But
You know
here's
what I mean?
the thing, though.
No, I'm saying here's the thing. I'm not saying it's right. I don't think it's right. You know, I don't think it's right. But at the same time, it is, you can't ignore the fact that most of these guys are coming in, like, you don't know how these guys are going to get treated. You know what I mean? And it's like, for example, like Punishment Martinez. I didn't know it. Well, Damian Priest. I had no idea he was close to 40. I had no idea.
I didn't either whole time.
I had no idea he was almost 40. I had no idea. Okay, I kind of did, because I knew Eli Drake was almost 40. You know?
Dudes don't look it.
I know. But the thing is, it's like there is merit behind saying that WWE is. Hang on, let me look it up, because I don't want to take it.
Here's my thing, because I know what you're trying to say, and I had to think about it. Like, at some points, I understand it, that it's like why they signing all these guys in their mid to late 30s. But then I think DDP. That's the first person that always goes to DDP. My favorite wrestler growing up, Diamond Dallas Page.
Where's the article?
Diamond Dallas Page was in his 30s when he first started wrestling.
But I know, but I'm saying, like, these guys have been wrestling. This isn't their first time wrestling. You know what I mean?
You're right.
These guys aren't wrestling. These guys aren't making their debuts at these ages. They've been wrestling for like 10, 15, 20 years almost.
What is the pro wrestler's prime age?
Their mid-30s. If you're a woman, your 20s.
And at this point now, that's starting to push up too, for the ones that don't want to get pregnant. Look at some of the women that's in WWE now: Shayna Baszler, Asuka, Mako in the UK. And so,
where is this match?
I feel like the prime age of pro wrestlers is pushing themselves up now, especially in WWE, looking at how they wrestle. And then you take out the fact that they're not doing house shows right now. There's one thing, because we all know that WWE typically wrestles a much more safer style than what you see in the independents and other companies. So it's a lot less strain on their bodies, and then not doing live events helps it even that much more, because they're not wrestling.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm not gonna waste time looking for it. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they're not wrestling 200, 300 matches a year now, so they can go a lot longer. And then the new age technology. If we were still in 2002, Edge, Daniel Bryan, and Sting would not be able to get back in the ring. Sheamus as well. Somebody was saying that Sheamus would be amazing in New Japan. I said, if Sheamus in New Japan, he'd be retired now.
Probably.
So that there's a lot of that. And then also I think of the maturity age. Look at Randy Orton when he was getting his first big push.
24.
At 24, and the issues that came along with that. Think of Leo Rush and the issues that came along with that. Miz, when he first started, how he got kicked out of the locker room. Enzo getting kicked out of the locker room. There's a lot of maturity things that come along with giving a person that young that much of a sense of power. It starts getting to the head. So you got these veterans now that have been there before, and it's not as bad. Like Roman Reigns now. Roman Reigns is flourishing. Jay is in the greatest position he's ever been in. All the New Day. So I understand that you want a lot of these younger guys to push, which WWE is bringing in a lot of young guys. They just brought in Bronson Rex-Steiner.
I know, but you're bringing them in, but you're bringing them in, but they're not doing anything with them.
It's always a gamble when you get to WWE.
I know, but it shouldn't. Not. I'm not saying it shouldn't be, but I understand that there's a system. Like, for example, like I get, like sometimes when some of them rage over, we're still talking about the guys at Well Country. Some of them, now some I get when they rage over Goldberg because some people like that. So, oh, Goldberg wins the title. Okay, like, no, we hate that. You know, I don't want to see that. Like, I didn't like his match with Kevin Owens. I didn't like that. I thought Kevin had a good thing going.
Me too.
You know, and in fact, I was at a Raw where Kevin was Universal Champion. You know, and I thought it was good. It was before the Festival of Friendship, but like it was good.
I realized this about WWE.
I also forget at that same Raw I saw Chris Jericho.
I think Chris Jericho.
twice. Yeah.
His pyro scared the mess out of me the first time I went though.
But you see what I'm saying? Anyway, you see what I'm saying though, right?
Yeah, but here's the thing with WWE. A lot of people that were not happy about Goldberg winning, you know where they were?
AEW?
No. I'm just talking about. Well, this was let's say Kevin Owens when Kevin Owens won, or when AEW was. I don't think AEW had Dynamite yet when he beat Bray Wyatt.
No.
I think they were. Just
when did he beat Bray?
I want to say it was right before Dynamite. I want to say it was right, but I think I want to say it was a few weeks.
Yeah, because wasn't it at the Saudi shows, which they're not doing. There's no if WWE continues to do Saudi shows, I might cut them off. There ain't no reason.
I don't think they can do. I don't think they're gonna be able to do Saudi shows with the stuff that's going on with.
Yeah, they shouldn't have been doing because when they first did the first one, that's what happened. Like it actually happened. Like they found that dude's body over there before the first show, before the first ever Saudi show.
WWE
that happened.
WWE is corporate, so I was not surprised when back over there. You probably wouldn't be surprised, but there's a lot of companies that still do have business with Saudi Arabia.
I mean, of course, but I'm just saying.
Corporate America.
Capitalism.
Yeah, I mean, look.
Greed. Don't forget greed.
I don't understand why people get as outraged they do when things go on with WWE. It's like you're saying, I don't see how you support WWE with all the stuff they do, yet there is a Amazon box outside of your house. That's all I got to say. Like, you're still using Amazon. People said that WWE did horrible in the beginning with their COVID routine. Amazon was a lot worse. I'm not disagreeing that they were bad. They handled it poorly at first, but Amazon was doing a lot worse and a lot longer.
That's fair.
And so that's my whole thing. Like WWE is corporate, is part of corporate America. People like these people they feel disrespected their jobs. Okay, teachers feel disrespected on a daily basis. So it's like I understand, and we'll talk about the situation in one of these awards. So I'm gonna keep moving down with the awards.
Yeah.
Best non-wrestler of the year, Taz. If MVP was not wrestling, I would say MVP, but Taz, yeah.
Yeah, Taz, yeah. Taz is good. Taz has been good.
High flyer of the year, Ray Phoenix.
Yeah, no
debate.
You can't even fight.
Debates. Technical wrestler of the year, Zack Sabre Jr. Again, no debates.
Yeah. Well, no. Well, yeah, because a lot of those technical guys come from the UK. So I mean, so. If David Starr hadn't,
he was not canceled.
Yeah, I'd say him.
Probably be in the talks.
I got sad earlier because I rewatched one of his matches, and I'm thinking like, this guy was. I was thinking about because he was gonna have a match with Mox at like the 5-year. He was gonna have a match with Moxley at Scrapper Mania. Like David Starr versus John Moxley for the OTT championship. And it was right when he showed up in AEW. And I was thinking, dog, that would have been match of the year if they had it. But
I agree. You said most charismatic wrestler of the year, MJF.
Is that charisma, or I wouldn't call that charisma?
I wouldn't call it like if that was heel of the year. I would let that fly. But
yeah, but I don't think that's charisma.
I don't agree here.
I'd say charisma.
I'm gonna say E.
I was gonna say E too.
I would say either
E or who else is like?
And the fact that E didn't even make, I don't think E was on the top of this voting.
I think E or John's got charisma. I don't want to give John Moxley everything, but Mox has something.
Look, I've been a fan of Mox from the time I saw him as Dean Ambrose and from Jump. I was one of the ones that had to go back and watch some of his old stuff. I watched this feud in FCW with Regal. That was some real good stuff if you haven't seen that either. Move of the year, Kenny Omega's One Winged Angel.
What were the others on the list?
I don't have the list. So if you could find that.
What's it called? The Wrestler Observer?
Yeah. And then just look up most charismatic, or are you talking about move of the year? I don't know too much about move of the year. I'm not going to really bother with that. Feud of the year, Mox versus Eddie Kingston. I don't agree. I can't think of anything right now that
had amazing.
I'm gonna say Sasha Bailey.
I was gonna say Roman versus anybody.
I mean Roman versus Jay. I'm gonna say either Roman versus Jay or I'm gonna stick with Sasha Bailey.
Hang on, you said where's this?
Just the fact that feud lasted well over a year. That really kickstarted at the SmackDown that we went to, the last SmackDown we went to.
What am I looking for?
I think aren't you looking for most charismatic wrestler of the year?
Oh, here we go. Yeah. I can't click on it, but I see it though. Carry on.
Boom,
Cross.
Boom, boom. Worst feud of the year: Bray Wyatt versus Braun Strowman.
That was terrible.
I wouldn't say it was horrible, but it definitely wasn't the worst.
Somebody said, "This is why I will use this as one of the reasons why Finn's run with the Universal Championship is not the worst. This was the worst."
You know what? I disagree, and I'm gonna tell you which one I think was the worst feud of the year, and you're probably gonna agree with me once I say it.
Goldberg's.
The Mysterios versus Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy.
Yeah, if they didn't do the eye for an eye, the matches were good.
No, I'm saying not after that. Before that, it was solid. After the eye for an eye match, when they started doing the whole thing, adding Aaliyah into it.
Yeah,
that's where it became the worst of the year for me.
You should have ended it with. Here's where you should. If you were going to keep it going, here's where you should have ended it. You should have ended it where Ray, Aaliyah, Dom, and what's his wife's name? Can't think.
I don't know, but I don't know what her wife is. Mrs. Mysterio. Let's go with that. Mama Mysterio.
And the wife and his wife, when they all beat the fecal matter out of Seth with the kendo sticks, that should have been it.
That was it.
That should have been it.
That was a really good segment.
Like after that, like okay, so you have Seth beat him. Well, you had Seth beat him at SummerSlam, right? Seth won at SummerSlam, and then I think Dom got the win later, right? Didn't he get a win over Seth later, singles-wise? So, yeah, after that, and then he got the final win over him in that, and then they all beat him up with kendo sticks. That's it.
That's it.
Cut. It should have been it.
but they wanted to carry it out, and then that's
I
where
don't know. And then they had to get weird. Then they had to get weird and have Aaliyah.
That I liked.
Oh, Angie. That's what his wife's name is.
Okay. But I there were parts of Bray and Braun that I actually like.
I like the swamp
I know
fight.
it's an unpopular opinion, but I enjoyed the swamp match that they had.
I actually did too, because I love cinematic. Mostly because I love cinematic stuff. Impact. Matt Hardy spoiled me.
That I actually enjoyed, so that much I cannot agree with.
By the way, do you want to do a live stream of Revolution?
I won't be home.
Where will you be?
I'll be door dashing.
So is it because it's the AEW? Is it because it's the AEW pay-per-view? Is that why?
No, it's because my Saturdays are my best days to make money, man.
It's on a Sunday. March 7th is a Sunday.
When did they start doing pay-per-views on Sunday?
I do not know.
Nani? Oh, you know what? Let me see how my money is. And then I might be able to do that. I didn't realize.
You know that's the Sunday, right?
Yeah, I just looked at my calendar now. I was like, because I've been so conditioned that everybody else outside of WWE does their pay-per-views on Saturday.
Well, Impact doesn't.
I thought they did on Saturdays too.
No, those are their specials. Those are Impact Plus exclusives or Fight TV.
I could have sworn I was at your house on a Saturday when we watched Bound for Glory.
That was Slammiversary, and that was on a Sunday.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You were in a genjutsu, my brother.
I am in a biggest genjutsu as I can be. Match of the year. I'm not going. We're not. We can beat this horse to death. We already know what was there. You know how I feel about the match. Omega and Hangman versus the Bucks and for at Revolution. We already know how we feel about it. We're not gonna.
I was gonna say it should have been Ilya Dragunov versus Walter.
We've talked about that, so we know how we both feel about that. So we're not gonna bother with that
because Walter. I haven't seen two wrestlers beat the mess out of each other like that since I watched Ibushi. Since I watched.
I feel like Ishii's in this.
No, it wasn't Ishii. It was actually, yes, it was Ishii. Since I watched Shibata and Ishii beat each other up in the G1 in 2013.
You know what I did? I'm surprised wasn't the answer here.
What?
Stadium Stampede.
I think that was more like here. This is something like a pick-me-up of the. It should be pick-me-up of the year.
Okay. Worst match of the year. Again, we talked about this while I disagree. The swamp fight.
That's what it is.
That's what won worst match of the year.
I mean,
you got to remember who's voting for.
Well, no, because mind you, I think it's because Braun was champ at the time, and there should have been something related to it, but it wasn't. And also because there wasn't really a finish. If you really think about it.
I mean, there's not. It's cinematic, dog. I don't put much thought.
Well, I mean, Matt Hardy does cinematic matches too, and they have finishes.
Again, I don't put stock into cinematic matches. I just watch it.
But I mean, that doesn't mean. I mean, why are you booing me? I'm right. Like he does.
I didn't boo you. I was just saying.
I'm just saying. I mean, I'm not wrong. Matt Hardy's cinematic matches have finishes.
Like,
not Delete or Decay. Delete or Decay didn't have a fit. Well, it kind of had a finish. But Delete or Decay kind of had a finish, but the rest of it had finishes. Final Deletion, Tag Team Apocalypto,
Look, man. I told you when we did our top 10 matches of the year, I don't rank cinematic matches for a reason. I just
why not? I forgot what you said.
Moving on, best weekly show of the year, Dynamite. I would say SmackDown, but it is what it is.
Well, think about Dynamite.
I don't think anybody's going to disagree with the worst weekly show of the year, though.
It's Raw.
It's Raw.
It's god awful.
Promoter and Booker of the year went to Tony Khan. I don't care.
I mean,
I don't care.
He books his guys and it makes sense.
Sometimes.
Most times. I'll give him 90%.
Quite a few times. Well, I'm just saying like
90% of the time it makes sense. Here's what I will say.
Did they ever follow through on who attacked Jon Moxley, or is we just supposed to assume?
I said 90%. This is me saying this. 90% of the time it makes sense. 90%. 90%. I don't know what they're doing with Miro Orange Cassidy. I don't know.
Oh my gosh, don't get me
I
started.
I don't know what they're doing with that. I don't know.
You're about
I don't
to
know.
make me hot because I was very upset with how he was done in WWE. Now to see how he's being done right now in AEW makes me even more hot. I'm not going to get Miro. Then I'm going to start thinking about Mr. Dillinger.
Yeah, that's weird too. Also, but the Dark Order.
I still think they're dorks, but it's okay.
Hey, they're lovable dorks.
They're lovable dorks, but they're still dorks. I'm not going to talk about the promotion of the year. We already know how that goes. Worst Major Show, Super Showdown. Yeah, I don't.
The only good Super Showdown they did was the one in Australia.
That was really good, though.
That was the only good one.
I agree. Gimmick of the year, Orange Cassidy.
It's really good. It's good.
It's good, but I wouldn't say Gimmick of the year. And I definitely disagree with worst Gimmick of the year, The Fiend.
Well, who do you think is best Gimmick of the year?
The Fiend.
The best?
The best, The Fiend.
Well, you might as well say Rosemary.
Okay. The best is Roman Reigns.
No, are you talking about this is 2020, not 2021? Roman was gone most of 2020.
No, he was. I actually did the research. He only missed 5 months.
Okay, fine. No, very well.
I went.
Okay, so by that logic,
his win-loss database and counted up the matches that he missed. He left in April. He left early April. Came back in August.
So I'd say.
And for that reasoning, AEW shouldn't have won Promotion of the Year last year.
It should have been WWE.
Because AEW missed most of the year too. Last year when they won it.
Wait, what?
AEW won Promotion of the Year last year.
Right.
How?
Did they miss time?
They missed most of the year.
How did they miss most of the year?
When did AEW first start? Not this year, last year.
2019. Like October 2019.
October, November, December. 3 months. They won Promotion of the Year for 3 months of TV.
You mean they won that?
They won Promotion of the Year.
Are these awards for 2020?
Best weekly show as well.
Are these awards for 2020 or 2019?
I was saying because you were saying that he missed most of the year, so he shouldn't be best gimmick of the year. But AEW.
No, I didn't say he shouldn't be gimmick of the year. I was trying to figure out. I said he wasn't there, so he wasn't around. So I'm not saying he shouldn't get it. If he was around during that time, then yeah, he should get it.
But yeah, I think he should win that one. Now, where's gimmick of the year? I don't know. Well, King Corbin.
He's still the king. Why? Why is he a king? Why is he still the king?
I don't know. We all know that I'm a huge Baron Corbin fan. There's no surprise, but I'm sorry. It's time.
I don't know why he's still a king.
Time to do something different.
Like, I don't know why. Why is he still a king?
I don't know.
With no subjects.
Well, one of his subjects got fired.
Exactly. For being, well, yeah.
Is, again, forgotten.
That's a shame.
I just hope they go ahead and put him back with Murphy and just call it a day. Let's rebolster up that tag team division and do something there.
You mean the tag team, the division no one gives a shit about?
There's some look. We don't care, but they put on some good matches. Like the thing is, there's a lot of talent in that tag team division.
Yeah, here's the thing. AEW. No, I'm not even gonna do this. Impact has a better tag division.
Here's the thing. We all know I say AEW's division is best on paper. I still think I enjoy Impact's tag team division better.
Yeah.
Announcer of the year, I disagree, even though I know that he kind of stopped announcing halfway through the year. I still think it should be Morrow, but they gave it to Excalibur.
Yeah, I miss Morrow.
And look, here's the thing: if they,
I would rather see Morrow and Wade to see how that would go.
Yeah,
I feel like he would lose Wade with all of his pop references.
Probably so. But if they could put Dana White as a nominee for promoter of the year, I think you should be able to put Morrow up here too.
Yeah.
So I think Morrow should have won that one. Worst announcer of the year, Michael Cole.
Here's something else that Wall Culture brought up, and it makes sense. Michael Cole will repeat himself, like repeat stipulations during the match as if we didn't hear them. You know what I mean?
I'm going to give Michael Cole the benefit of the doubt. It's not Michael Cole. It's just a man through Michael
I know, but I'm saying. But you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, because I know Brian Last always says it, like people say that it's not Michael Cole. I'm like, dog. Brian Last doesn't believe that Michael Cole was a good announcer when not having Vince in his ear. But I don't think Brian Last watched the initial UK title tournament, which he flourished in. Most disgusting promotional tactic of the year. WWE firing employees during the pandemic, where
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Corporate America, though, it sucked, but not surprising at all seeing that WWE is corporate America.
Yeah,
I'm just happy to see that most, if not all, those guys are doing well for themselves outside of WWE, and especially when most of them didn't have, at one point or another, wanted to be gone either way. Speaking of which, Maria actually unblocked me. Mike still has me blocked now. Best documentary of the year goes to Dark Side of the Ring. I wonder what I need to see. I guess I need to find out later on which other documentaries were involved in this, because
what all right, so what did I miss?
Best documentary of the year went to Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah.
I'm definitely highly anticipating the next one. And then best on interviews, I can't disagree here.
Eddie Kingston. Oh, he's amazing. Eddie Kingston's amazing.
I would put Eddie Kingston at number 1. Number 2, I am going to say Mox. And number 3, McAfee.
Yeah. Is that all of them?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All of this means absolutely nothing, though. We just spent about 45 minutes talking about something that I put absolutely zero stock into. Like, everybody's out here getting mad about it. I was really up there trolling a lot of this stuff. If you saw some of my tweets, I was saying praise the Great Khan and stuff like that, because I just didn't care. Like, they're out here celebrating as if people were making fun of Tony Khan because he was like really, really celebrating this accomplishment, saying that I have been dreaming of this moment for decades. Like, dude, you really had dreams of winning an award from Dave Meltzer for decades? Like, bro, that was the funniest thing. And I was like, you know what? I guess that is a very valid thing to be dreaming for when you can't win Super Bowls.
Maki Ito is the best.
I know it was harsh to say, but it is what it is.
Maki Ito is the best.
She's hilarious. I like Maki Ito more than I like Riho.
Duh.
Riho does nothing.
Of course. I know, because I watched a whole documentary, like a 30-minute documentary on YouTube about Maki Ito, and she's brilliant.
Riho still looks like she's like 17 years old.
She's cool.
I saw an older video. I saw an older picture of her on Suzuki's back. And I was like, why is he carrying this elementary school kid around on his back in the ring?
Wait, who did this?
Minoru Suzuki was carrying Riho on his back. And she looked like she was 60 pounds.
Have you seen her?
I mean, she's 98. Well, I can't forget now because she's 98 pounds. Because the announcers say that as much as Michael Cole says the rules of a match.
That's fair.
The 98 pounder. It's like, is that her nickname?
By the way, what Seth and Cesaro did on SmackDown was hilarious.
Oh yes, Cesaro. Oh my gosh. I really hope Cesaro. I really hope that shit Cesaro's here though.
There are a lot of camera
I
cuts.
was listening to Busted Open last night, and they were saying that if we were in a normal situation, Cesaro would have had that Daniel Bryan / Kofi Kingston type energy, because it's been a while. When did Cesaro first hit the main roster?
Like
10 or 11?
Yeah, around there.
Because he came in with Oksana.
Yes.
And that whole thing, because Teddy Long was in this thing with Oksana, and the Oksana left him for Antonio Cesaro. Oh my gosh, that was bad. And it's crazy to see that he hasn't really had a singles run with the title since his initial run. He had the United States title, and I think that was it for him. After that, they threw him in tag teams with Sheamus. They threw him in there with Hager, threw in there with Tyson. So I think it's about time that he gets that gets at least a shot. Like, I'm not the type of person that says he needs the title. I just want to see him get a shot. Give him a high profile feud. Because at the end of the day, I think that's where it all matters to me. I just want to see my favorites at least get the high profile feud. Like, I understand that the whole this such and such deserves the title isn't really a, like Bully Ray said, the only time you deserve a title is if you're putting butts in seats. Right now, you can't really be putting butts in seats because ain't no seats for butts to be putting in right now. It's a WrestleMania. But it's just the way that is. So, but all in all, like I said before, the Wrestling Observer award show, whatever, it doesn't mean much. It's a bunch of people that have a viewpoint. I'm not even gonna say bias. They have a viewpoint and they vote on it in that way. This was voted on by less than 1% of the professional wrestling fan base. Put it that way. And we know how broad the opinions are in just the IWC, which is still one of the smallest demographics of pro wrestling fans.
I forgot what I was looking for.
And also, Roman Reigns is the best thing going on in pro wrestling. Yeah, I said it.
Maki Ito just said hello to Eddie. Hello, Eddie. Nice to meet you, Eddie Kingston.
She's still learning words.
Not too many.
I think she's learned all the cuss words in English now.
When she got announced at the tournament, she said, "Hello, hello, motherfuckers."
No, did she say the queen or the god of love and piss? Oh, the god of love and piss. Like what? File my taxes. What? Wait, what? So Ari Lennox tweeted earlier today, only way you seeing me is if you eating me. So some guy said named Mean Viz in my media. Okay, Ari Lennox, when you plan on being on my plate? So I posted a GIF of the one of the Karens that were calling the police on people, and I tagged Horny Police Department. It said I would like to file a report. So yeah, I'm a Karen out here making sure the Horny Police arrest all these horny pages on Twitter. So don't let me catch you slipping out here, dog. Wait, what? I'm sorry. People had issues. Bleacher Report's international stream. I was promised multiple times by our partner that the Eliminator matches will stream in real time for free for all international fans. Since that's not the case, I just put the matches up for free on YouTube. You should have just put them on free. You should have put them on YouTube anyway.
Anyway, what else? What was the other? I'm trying to find this picture.
Did you see Cass?
Yeah, he's great. Oh great.
My! I don't think Cass ever looked that ripped.
He looks fantastic.
Like I'm happy for Cass, bro.
What was I? Oh, what about the other picture? The other thing we're going to talk about. The other match, the 5-star matches with
Yeah. I still have not been to find that, and it goes back to Dave Meltzer, the whole 5-star match thing, because there's a lot of names like Kurt Angle. Who else was it? Kurt Angle,
it was Kurt Angle, Daniel Bryan.
which still surprises me.
It was Kurt Angle, Daniel Bryan, The Rock, and
Is Undertaker on that list?
no, Undertaker had that match with Shawn at WrestleMania 25.
He gave that 5 stars?
Yeah.
It was an Undertaker match that he had that was amazing, that wasn't given 5 stars, and I can't think of it.
It's probably that match with Angle in 2006.
Possibly.
No Way Out in 2006.
Angle not having a 5-star match is very, very...
Well, so here's what I was going to do. I was going to say we were going to look at these people and say if you could give it
I already have my match with Rock, and I know that it probably doesn't fit his criteria, and that's probably why it wasn't put as a 5-star match, but you can't deny the staying power of the match, regardless of what you think. And it has something to do with a guy that neither one of us like. So
is it Hogan?
Yeah, it's Rock Hogan.
No, I was gonna agree. Actually, I was gonna say either that. I was gonna say either that or the match he had with Austin at 17.
Oh yeah, because it was 17 was him and Austin, and then 18 was him and Hogan.
Yeah, if you're gonna get it, either should be one of those. For Daniel Bryan, the match. I watched a match he had. It should be 2 matches. The match he had with Nigel McGuinness to unify the Ring of Honor belts, because McGuinness himself said that was one of the best matches he's ever had. I was gonna say that.
Where can I find that at?
What?
That one. I have not seen
it. Just find a site on it for Google. On Google. I was gonna say that. I'd say he had an amazing match with Low Ki. So, and he also, the first ever Ring of Honor main event was Bryan Danielson. Well, he was called American Dragon versus Low Ki versus Christopher Daniels. Any of those could be 5-star matches.
I know the ending probably would downgrade it for a lot of people, but I'm going to say his match with CM Punk at Over the Limit 2012.
It was good, but it was. I'm telling you, it wasn't as good as the matches I just.
Soured a lot of people. Kurt Angle.
Him
in the Redacted.
Yeah, that or any of his matches with Shawn. His pay-per-view. Any of his pay-per-view matches with Shawn.
I think the botch killed his match with Brock. I want to say it was 19.
Yeah, any of his matches with Shawn, pay-per-view matches, like the match at Vengeance or the match at Mania.
Now, I think if he were doing the 5, if he was he does it for certain shows, which bugs me, because he does it for certain TV shows, but doesn't do it from all of them. Because you got the Iron Man match with Brock on SmackDown, the 60-minute one.
No, I know.
So there's that, but then again, it's TV, so there's that.
I'd say his match with Shane at 2001 and King of the Ring 2001. That was pretty good. That was 5. That should have been 5 stars.
I think the only thing wrong with that is because he didn't put him through the class the first time.
Yeah.
He had to do it again, but hey, it worked out for him.
Yeah.
Now I think that was Shane's.
Who was that 4th guy? Can you find it? Who's that 4th guy? Because that thing's bugging me. It is bugging me who that 4th guy is.
I'm looking up now. 5-star. I'm checking Twitter now. Dave, Chucky T got a 5-star rating from Dave Meltzer. No, that's not it.
Because it was Rock, Bryan, and Angle, and there was a 4th guy. And I think it had a good match from all of them.
Undertaker, Mr. Perfect. Wow. Randy Savage. Well, these I don't think any of these are on the list, but Randy Savage, Mr. Perfect, Dean Malenko. Lars Sullivan has a 5-star. Oh, he does have a 5-star match.
Who?
Lars Sullivan.
He what?
He has a 5-star match.
With who?
The ladder match. It was Killian, him, EC3, Dream, Adam Cole for the North American title.
Yeah.
Here it is. EC3, Killian Dane, Lars Sullivan, Ricochet, Velveteen Dream. This was at TakeOver New Orleans.
New Orleans. It was New Orleans.
Who else? I cannot find it. Owen Hart, Mr. Perfect. Yeah, here's another list. Nope, that's not it. Yeah, I don't know who else it is.
Well, this is gonna bother me then. Where the heck is it?
And I know how that. It watch be something you find out after we stop recording. Wrestlers in Rock, Hogan, Bryan, Triple H, Brock Lesnar, Randy Savage. No, those aren't the names. Once the name hits me, it'll slap me in the face. I'm trying to cut up all the dead area, and I can just edit it later on.
Found it. Randy Orton. I found it. Randy Orton. It said never forget these four don't have any 5-star match from Dave Meltzer, Rock, Angle, Orton, or Daniel Bryan. It was Randy Orton.
I'm trying to think of some 5-star.
He had some good matches with Edge.
His match with Brody, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If not 5, give him 4.5.
Yeah, his matches with Edge in like the early 2000s for the IC title were pretty good.
Oh yeah.
I liked his match with Mick at Backlash 04. That wasn't great, but it was all right. I feel like his match with Triple H at WrestleMania 25 I liked it. You know, I think it's a solid 5 stars, like a solid 5. You know.
And here we go again. It all goes back to that Dave Meltzer has his opinions. I feel like Dave Meltzer thinks his opinions mean more than it is. Because Dave Meltzer a lot of times comes off very, very condescending.
Yes, he does.
He's very condescending. It's like, dog, you have a lot of knowledge, and I'm going to say this. I know you don't like the guy, but I put him in a Jim Cornette type of column.
Only less toxic.
Depends on how you think toxic.
He doesn't come out. He doesn't. When I say toxic, it's like there isn't this air of like negativity. I'm not gonna see takes from it. I'm not gonna get bad takes.
I get what I mean? Both of them.
Now I'm saying I'm not gonna read something Dave Meltzer says and was like, you know, I don't agree with this, or not something that says like.
I listen to Cornette on a regular basis.
No, I'm saying I don't listen to Cornette because he has that air of like because I lived it, you don't know anything. You know what I mean?
By him.
Huh?
Like, I listen to him because sometimes he has a lot of. Cornette has a lot of knowledge for a lot of things. I like his perspectives. Like, I don't agree with his takes, but I listen to him for his perspective and his stories about things that happened when he was there. And some of his stories are very interesting. So I listen for that, and then outside of that, it's just like perspective. And
well, so you think what he said about Joshi scene is perspective. You think that's perspective?
No. Like, I was talking about like how the perspective of psychology. Like why do you think that way? I don't agree with what you're saying, but why? Why do you think the way you do?
Like, why do you think, like, so why does he think that the Joshi scene is just, they're not wrestlers, they're just cosplayers?
Basically, like, I don't agree with you, but I just want to know why. And that's my whole thing. Like, I like to listen to people that I don't agree with and figure out why do you think that way?
I mean, I have a reason as to why he might think that way, but
I mean, now that I know why he says it, I understand it. It's just an old school
so why do you think he would say that? What do you think he would say?
It's an old school mindset because the ones he's talking about are he calls them the Japanese schoolgirls.
But I'm saying, I know, but I'm saying, why would he call them that? Why can't they be pro wrestlers? What's wrong with that?
They're small.
Okay, so is fucking Marco Stunt.
Oh, he hates Marco Stunt.
Well,
you know
of course he does. No, but my point is so's freaking.
Probably names somebody he hates.
Huh?
You probably name somebody he hates.
Jungle Boy. He's small.
Okay, he doesn't hate Jungle Boy, but yeah. Because Jungle Boy has a bit of a stature to him, so I guess he doesn't hate him too much. Like, he loves it. I can tell you now, the ones he really loves, he loves MJF.
Of course he does.
He loves the Way, not Johnny Gargano. He hates Gargano, but he loves.
Well, see there. Why? Why does he hate Gargano?
Okay, because his facial expressions.
That makes no. When somebody like you,
when you
said you don't like Kenny Omega because of facial expressions, I'm like, what does that even mean? What does that mean? That makes no. I know it says the looks on his face are crazy. I was like, what? That's why you don't like half the stuff he does.
It's aspects of how he was brought up. I mean, look, it's not. It's like people think that Jim Cornette is the only old school person that thinks like this. No,
I know. No, but I'm saying I'm trying to figure out like what he doesn't like his facial expressions. What in
because he does. This is how he feels. This is not me. Like I told you, there's a lot of stuff that he says. It was like, dog, what? He just says that he has the same facial expression for everything. He calls him Johnny Saneface. He loves Theory.
That makes no sense whatsoever. You literally made no sense. You speaking the words of Jim Cornette still didn't make sense.
I don't know what to say, dog. I'm just telling you what
I'm confused. I'm
just telling you what I get from him. Certain things I understand why he says it. Other things I don't. I mean, the Japanese wrestlers that he likes are the wrestlers like Aja Kong. I haven't heard him say too much about Asuka, so I don't know how he feels about her. Because they don't really watch a lot of WWE as it is. They watch the pay-per-views and that's it. He watches AEW on a weekly basis just to talk about that because evidently people love to listen to him talk about AEW, but that's just that. And then they'll talk about the WWE pay-per-views, which I was expecting him to really, really hate Elimination Chamber, but he liked one match.
Which one was it?
The first one.
Of course. That was the best one.
Oh, yeah.
That card,
And I understood exactly why he liked everything about it, and like he adores Cesaro.
Of course, everybody loves Cesaro.
Why? But then again, he knew Cesaro when he was working at ROH too.
Why did they have the
match right after?
No. Why was Sasha and Bianca fighting for those women tag team titles when there are already like two number one contenders already?
I don't understand it. And look, you saw my situation with PNP a few weeks ago. I stand by the same thing when it came to that. That made absolute no sense. Should have never happened. There was no chemistry.
Here's the one thing I will say about AEW. they haven't ignored them. But the fact that you see how fluid it is without bringing up the ranking system. You see how fluid the show is. You know what I mean when I say fluid, right?
They haven't brought up the ranking system?
I'm saying, you know what I mean when I say fluid, right?
You mean?
Like the flow of the show, the flow of certain stories. You know what I mean? Certain stories. Like, okay.
Certain stories
like,
still confuse me to this point. Like,
well, I'm saying, let's focus, keep focus. Like, as far as like the TNT Championship goes or the World Championship goes. By the way, side note, I hate when something is called World Heavyweight Championship. I prefer World Championship. Like Impact World Championship, Ring of Honor World Championship, AEW World Championship. You see what I'm saying?
Why?
I don't know. I was just thinking about this. I think it's like aesthetically pleasing. You know what I mean?
I guess the whole mindset of it, I think this is another one of those old mindsets.
Yeah.
Because the word heavyweight just kind of doesn't fit in today's.
Yeah, it's like it don't sound right.
Era of pro wrestling, since she's got a lot of smaller like guys like not Mox. He's pretty solid size for a warrior.
Mox is 240.
Kenny Omega's what?
230.
So he would be like at the low end of heavyweight during that time period. Like when you think of heavyweights back when they were actual heavyweights, you're thinking 260.
270,
300.
Yeah.
Like Batista versus, like this was really big meaty men bumping meat.
Like freaking, like Kenta Kobashi was like 260. You know.
Like my dream match WrestleMania, which we're not gonna talk about right now.
Kenta Kobashi was like 260.
Right.
Masawa, he was heavy. He was up there.
And a lot of guys are a lot leaner now. Like Cesaro is a very
like Marufuji, he's like 220, like his 230 is around there.
Yeah. So the weight is kind of dropped down. I think WWE is kind of pushing back towards the big.
Oh, Rick Swann. Rick Swann's like 200
Rick Swann is a cruiserweight dog.
Yeah, but he's a world champion.
He's a world champion. I mean, and that's the thing. You have a lot of guys that.
Well, not for long because Moose is going to take his belt, but.
Yeah, but you have a lot of guys that have done that. Like you had your Rey Mysterios, your Daniel Bryans, your Eddie Guerreros, your Finn Balor's, your Kofi Kingston. Kofi Kingston would be a cruiserweight in the 80s.
Yeah.
Kofi's what, like 215?
Something like that, yeah.
So not even the 80s. In 2002.
Punk was like 218.
Huh?
Punk wasn't that big either.
Punk, right. I mean, these guys would be fighting for the Cruiserweight Championship in 2002 on SmackDown. So that whole thing has kind of dropped down the weight class. So I kind of understand why you're saying that you kind of hate the word heavyweight in that sense. Because they're not really heavyweights in the eyes of professional wrestling. Of how it's been, I should say that. Anything else wrestling wise? Because I definitely want to ask you this. I was hoping Brian would be here, but I guess.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so that is our wrestling portion of this podcast. All right, so not too much else I want to talk about, but I definitely want to talk football. So, for some odd reason, the media has been pushing this whole thing about a highly unlikely but possible trade happening for Russell Wilson. I still think I think it's still 98% not happening. But the interest, I think I was listening to Undisputed. Skip was not there, so that was great. Because I feel like he was still there. He was still talking about Tom Brady. But it was LeVar Arrington and somebody else.
What was the question?
So they brought up Russell Wilson. And this is what I wanted to see what you thought. So Russell Wilson for 2 first rounds, a second round, and Zeke. Intriguing, huh? Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, I have stumped Isaac. Because you know that Russell Wilson.
He did say he wanted to come play for Dallas, right? He would say he played for Dallas.
Oakland. Hold on, let me find it.
Because I know one of the teams was us. He wanted to come play for us. And that's if he demanded a trade, right?
That was if no, he didn't demand a trade, but if they were willing to trade him, because he has no trade clause, so that means that he kind of can dictate where he gets traded if he was to be traded. Hold on. Was the I don't think the Bears is one of them. The Dolphins, the Jets, the Saints, Raiders, and I think the Cowboys are also one. Yeah, this is from Adam Schefter. Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson is not the man of the trade. His agent Mark Rogers told ESPN. Wilson has told the Seahawks he wants to play in Seattle, but if a trade were considered, the only teams he would go to are the Cowboys, Saints, Raiders, and Bears. So there's that. I mean, I don't see the Bears giving up anything that's worth us giving Russell Wilson up for him.
The Bears don't have anything.
The Bears have defense.
That's going to be enough for Russell Wilson.
Give a first round of Roquan, yes.
I don't think they're that crazy. Don't they also have return on the Mac?
Roquan in the hot second, though.
Don't they also have return on the Mac?
I wouldn't take Mac though. I want somebody young. Mac is what, pushing 30? 2014? So yeah, Mac's pushing 30. So I wouldn't take Mac because we gotta remember we're kind of going younger on our defense now. We just brought in Jamal Adams. We drafted Jordan Brooks, who I think is going to be a stud with Bobby Wagner next year because I don't see KJ coming back. So we're starting to get younger. I hope we can bring back Shaquille this year, though. The Raiders. I mean, who are the Raiders going to give us? Derek.
I would take it. I mean,
I think the best
because we do need if we for some reason have to give up Dak, we're going to need a quarterback, and I don't trust Andy Dalton.
I mean, if you're Jerry Jones and you really want Russ, I would take Russ over Dak. And then
also, if you're Jerry Jones and you want to win as bad as you keep saying you do, you know what I mean?
Talking as if I wasn't a Seahawks fan because I don't want Russell Wilson going anywhere. Me personally. But if he were to go, then I think the Cowboys would be the best bet. Because just look at who you got over there as it is. You have probably one of the best receiving corps. The only issue is with Russell Wilson, and I didn't really realize this until I started watching film. Russell Wilson has a bad habit of holding the ball too long. Like, we talk about how the offensive line isn't good. The offensive line is a lot better than I give him credit for. Because I was watching some of the film against the Rams, and it was against the Rams the first game. There were points in that game where he had an open man, but he took a sack. He had an open man, tried to scramble to make a bigger play. He's like a better Carson Wentz. Because Carson Wentz is the type of person that wants to make the big play every play. He's a better Carson Wentz. And he did a lot of that during the second half of that season where he really looked bad. So if he gets back to the first half Russell Wilson that we saw in the first half of the year, you're fine. He just can't take sacks. If an O-line gives you 3 to 4 seconds, they say 3 to 5 seconds is good. Get the ball out of your hands. You have one of the best, most underrated receivers in Tyler Lockett. And then a top 5 deep threat, in my opinion, in DK Metcalf. serviceable tight ends in Will Disley and Jacob Hollister. A very underrated slot man in, I can't even think of his name right now. Now, the running game is going to be one of those situations where who's going to be our running back next year? And so that's why I think Zeke would be interesting, because the rest of our running backs are either A, going to be free agents, or B, somebody that is going to have the injury prone labeled on his name. Because we still have Penny, but Carson is a free agent, and so is Carlos Hyde. And we don't have a first round pick this year.
You do not?
We do not. We don't have a first round pick for the next 2 years.
Whose crazy idea was that?
You know that safety we have is an all-pro?
Oh, right. Jamal Adams.
Yeah, the Jets have that now.
I was going to say, whose lame brain idea was that?
I mean, I'm not mad about it. And here's name who is our best first round pick that we have on our team right now?
Russell Wilson? I'm sorry.
Third round.
I don't know.
Bobby Wagner's a fourth round pick. Tyler Lockett was third round. DK was third round. Chris Carson was undrafted.
You got me, man. I don't know.
I trust my team. I trust Pete Carroll and Snyder to draft late than I do in the first round. You know who our first round picks are as of late?
Who?
Rashad Penny.
Is that
LJ Collier? I'm gonna just go through some of the first round picks we've had over the last 10 plus years. Remember a name, Aaron Curry?
I think so.
Draft bust. Earl Thomas, you got one there. I want to say Russell Okung was a first round pick. I think those are the best two first round picks we've had. Bruce Irvin definitely wasn't a first round pick. Most of our first round picks are not good.
I mean, whose fault is that?
I mean, we just picked better than better in the late rounds. I mean, we done passed up on a lot of dudes. Like, I would have loved to have Aaron Donald as a Seahawk. You know how stressful it is watching us play against Aaron Donald two games a year at least? And then watching the playoffs, how he just demolished us? Oh my gosh. He was the reason why DK didn't have that touchdown on Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey got burnt in that game, and Aaron Donald got pressure on Russell Wilson so much that he overthrew DK. As crazy that is, he overthrew DK, the same guy that ran down Buda Baker from 10 yards.
That's still amazing.
That was a play that either that or the Hail Murray play of the year.
I think they gave it to Murray for that.
Yeah, I still think it's DK.
Nah.
10-yard head start, bro. No. And again, Buda Baker's not a slow player. Buda Baker's really fast. DK is just faster.
Clearly, he was running at 100. He was running at like 122 miles an hour.
But you should not be that fast, that big. And to see that his dad was an offensive lineman. But like I said, I don't see it happening. But if that were to happen, I think that would be our best bet, because Zeke. There's something that I would give credit for with this team. They know how to take a running back that is on a decline and bring him into the system, and he flourishes. Especially a first-round running back, Mr. Beast Mode. So Zeke could be the second coming of Beast Mode in that sense, because that was a Pete Carroll move. He was brought in Pete Carroll's first year, and then we saw what happened in the playoffs. I wanted Justin Forsett to be the guy, but they made a better decision. Anything else for you?
I got nothing.
I'm just ready for free agency to start, dog, because this is going to be a crazy free agency period. You got quarterbacks that are being talked about being moved over. You still got the Deshaun Watson situation. Evidently, Las Vegas is shopping Derek vehicle. Somebody else was being shopped too. The possibility of Tua being shopped. You got guys like Jameis looking for a spot, looking for his teams. I still think Marcus Mariota should get another shot at starting. And then the draft. It's a lot of star power in this draft. So I'm really looking forward to everything going down. And I think they get ready to start the official start of the offseason in a few weeks. That and you know the Bengals are getting new jerseys, right?
I'm curious as to what they will look like.
Evidently, helmet's staying the same, so we'll see. I kind of want them to go back to a similar style to what the originals look like. Well, not the originals, but the Super Bowl era when they went to the Super Bowl.
You mean that one time?
The Icky Shuffle days.
Yeah. So.
Went twice. I could have sworn they went twice because I was watching a video comparison between the 49ers and the Bengals about how two quarterbacks took the team to the Super Bowl at the same time. Separation between the 2 years. Hold on, let me see. And they lost both years. I want to say one was to the 49ers.
Yeah, they did. One of them, they did lose to the Niners.
Yeah, it was two. 82 and 89.
Who was the one? Who was the first one? Who was the one they went against?
I want to say both were against the. Look at that. Both were against the 49ers.
Surprising.
23 was against the 49ers, and that was Joe Montana.
And then Steve Young.
I want to say Steve Young was what was this? This looks like 26. I think that was the monkey off the bat game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, they've been twice. Do you think they could build that team to a point where they're back in the Super Bowl?
I would like to see it because the Browns got there, so it's not impossible. Well, they're not there, but they're on their way.
You think they can? You think they're on their way?
The Browns?
Or do you think this is one of those 2007 type years and they're going to just suck next year? Because remember,
I want to see them do something.
I think a lot of people are rooting for them now more than ever because it's that whole phenomenon of a team that has sucked for so long. You just want to see them do good.
It was like with the Jaguars. Like the Jaguars went to the AFC Championship that year, and I'm like, I really hope they can pull it off. Of course they didn't because they got cheated, but
they got cheated. But the next year they just sucked.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. I was hoping. I was going next season hoping I wonder if they could do it again, and they didn't. But
And evidently, people don't like the owners there either. I can always go back to that whole debate that TK and Yannick had on Twitter. Like, dude, you're really out here fighting with a football player. Just trade the man, which they finally did. I don't think he even did much this year. I think he was injured.
Who is it?
Yannick Ngakoue.
Oh.
He was one of those guys that gave my team a beating when we played them that year. They went to this AFC Championship. But I had to give him credit, man. That defense was legit. That was like the moment I realized that Jalen Ramsey was a dog. And still is. I got to deal with him 2 times a year now, so it is what it is. With that being said, dog, I ain't got too much else to say.
Yeah, I'm good.
So y'all continue to drink your water. All right?
Yep.
Drink water. Peace, love, and Pop-Tarts. We'll be out of here.
Peace.